Yes, we are here at the Textile Shanghai. We are taking the interview of Miss Olivia. She's the owner of Livium. And we'll start with the first question. Can you, Olivia, tell about yourself and what is the inspiration to start this whole AI platform? That was really interesting.
Thank you for this opportunity. So I am the co-founder of Livium. Livium is a retail innovation studio and advisory. And the reason how I started all of this was about 3-4 years ago during the kind of time of, say, the pandemic. I was kind of stuck and I kind of felt like the metaverse was going to be the new world as we know it. So I took the opportunity to kind of explore a lot of these metaverse platforms, a lot of these brand activations. And really, I just wanted to understand from a customer's point of view, why certain brands make an activation on one platform and not the other, and why they want a customer to go into that platform and what do they want to do. So I started out by just doing it from a customer's point of view, just trying to understand it myself. And then through time, I started to put in other aspects of my 20 years of professional experiences, which is in strategy, in business development, and in marketing. And through that, I've created now Livium, the advisory. And how I got into things like AI sizing tools and a lot of the solutions that I now offer is because I wanted to solve the problem of sizing. So as we all know, sizing is a huge kind of problem and question. And I think through of these AI sizing tool, I hope that we can bring back this customer experience, giving more data and say ownership to the customers to understand their size and measurements. And at the same time, help brands also offer better personalized experience. So that's how I started Livium.
That's great. So as you said that sizing is a major concern across the world. And I guess this platform is the global platform where any brands can. So currently, this platform operates in which area of operation? Okay. Like in which country it is operating?
Okay, so to be clear, Livium is a retail innovation studio. So I make my own projects, I test them, I pilot them to experiment it, and then I can pass on all of the learnings and the tools that I offer to my clients as an advisor. So the AI sizing tool that I'm talking about right now is not a platform owned by, say, Livium. It is through one of my vetted operators and partners that I'm offering this. So I'm offering it right now in Hong Kong and in Asia.
Okay. So you are creating this kind of software and providing to your customer.
Yes, I am not creating. I am bringing the software to the masses and hoping that I can connect with a lot more retailers and brands so they can utilize this new patented technology and tool to give their customer a much more personalized experience, helping them understand their, say, sizing, giving good recommendation, and overall, it is to kind of close the kind of return rates. So as we all know, returns is a huge problem. It affects the brands, it affects the world in terms of carbon emissions. It's not sustainable. And it causes a lot of fashion waste. People buy stuff doesn't fit and then they throw. And at the same time, to give the customer more confidence when they buy something, they are certain that this is the right size and fit for them. So that is the reason why I'm offering this solution.
Okay. So sizing for across the world, every size is different. You had mentioned correctly US size, UK size, Indian size, whatever. So how this challenge is, big and cater to in the global market, because it's you had corrected the right challenge, but how you are doing it? Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's a really great question. Actually, that is one of the reasons why we want to solve this and push this tool out. A lot of these cross-border size chart is problematic because when we shop, we're not just shopping locally or regionally, we are shopping internationally because it's a way we express ourselves. I like, say, Italian fashion, a certain Italian brand, because I like the brand, the DNA or what it stands for, and it inspires me. But I may also buy local items as well, independent, custom-made items. So that is a big problem that we're trying to solve. So in order for the AI sizing tool to work, it is through use of, say, machine learning. It is an AI tool for that reason. So once you deploy it, when a brand have that AI sizing tool on their, say, e-commerce platforms, it enables their customers to go and open up a camera in something as simple as a 10-second scan. Very simple. It will recommend the size. And how it's done is actually taking a lot of this data and using it against data we already have on hand to train the model to give the best size and selection.
Okay. So by just a click of a scan, you can measure the size.
Yes.
But is that a perfect size? It is 100% correct size when you scan from the camera?
It tells you your perfect body size, like your actual size in real time. So right now, how people select size, a lot of these tools already exist. So if you go on some e-commerce store, they already have these sort of like, help me find my size. These tools already exist. However, it's a bit kind of tedious. You need to input all of your height, your weight. You have to input your age. So they're using this data to kind of guess the average of, like, if you're middle age, maybe you're slightly going to be heavier. Like, it's all guessing, right? In that sense. And it also requires you to input your expected size in other brands that they think you are buying from. So it's very cumbersome. It's very long. So this AI sizing tool is you turn on the camera and it scans your body in real time. It will give you measurements from like your shoulder width, your arm length, waist, your chest, your hip, your height, all of these things. It will tell you your size in real time. It can also help you create an account so you can keep track of your size and use it on other platforms, assuming they can deploy it. But the real trick is, the real winning thing is, it will help you decide on what size and recommend. Now, is it going to be the right size? That is $1 million question, because there's always going to be things that we do not know. For example, even if it recommends a small for you as per the size chart of the brand and as per your indicated real size, you might like to wear extra large just because you don't want it to be very tight. You like it very loose, so it still needs to require human touch. It recommends a size, but you might say, I want a bigger size just because I like it loose. But it will tell you what is your best recommended size as per the size chart that's given to you by the retailer.
Okay. So size chart of different countries. Well, how the process is, once you scan the body, then that AI tool will give you the size chart that this is perfect for you, S or M, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. For the UK size or whichever the size is.
Yes. It will assume that item has all of the different sizes from the different kind of data sets. But you are only comparing it to that item and that size chart that's given to you by the store. So if it's in UK size, it will tell you the best UK size. If it's a Japanese brand and it only has a Japanese size, it will recommend your best Japanese size. It is by what the retailer or the manufacturer gave out. But that's what makes it so confusing, is because if I am a US and I always shop in US size, the minute I look at UK sizes, I get a little confused. And it comes into a lot of different factors, like maybe the fit, the style, the cut. Within the same brand, there could be lots of size variations as well. So it is one step forward. Is it going to solve everything? No, but it is moving things a bit closer to finding size. In the end, it's just to help a person make a good recommendation instead of like buying 2 items, which I do a lot because I'm not sure which one. Am I a small or a medium? I can be both. So I buy both of them. This is how customers shop.
Okay. So it will partially reduce the the return back time. So,
Ideally is to help a better seamless customer experience, helping them cut down on the confusion of size charts. And I hope through long usages of the AI sizing tool and the machine learning behind it to gather this kind of data, it helps the retailer actually get a lot of good data set. So it can also help them make better decisions when they do a final cut of their product. So if a brand thinks that this is what a typical small is, it's like, 26-inch waist is the typical small. Maybe perhaps through all of the customers actually using the tools, they might actually find 26 is not the average. The average small is really a 28, and it will help them better find that fit per product and matching the brand.
okay. So now we go to this digital passport that you talk about on the blockchain side, the scanner, yeah, the scanner which you had, apply on the garment, and so how far this is used across the world in the global market? How many retailers and using this kind of blockchain technology?
Oh, okay. So I think digital fashion does not absolutely have to be on blockchain. So even some of the games that I talked about in gaming, it does not have to be on blockchain. One of the biggest, most used game, which is Roblox, have 19 million daily active users. All of those skins in there, marketplace, is not on the blockchain, right? One thing about why it should be on the blockchain, the idea is there is ownership and transparency and authentication and provenance. So there are some bonuses. You know where it came from. That's one of the reasons why you may want to use it on the blockchain. But to answer your question, as far as we know, in the European Union, they have already stated by 2030, every fabric or textile or item that leaves the EU will have something called a digital product passport, which is DPP. Now, that item is likely, unless there's other ways to use it, will be on the blockchain. Again, the reason why we do it is so it is a ledger. You know exactly where an item came from and where it's been through, if it's traded hands, which factory it came from. So there is a ledger that cannot be changed. So when it's on the blockchain, it's called immutable. Nobody can change what actually factually happened. So there are going to be usages for it. In my opinion, in Asia, it's still not really talked about. But as far as I know, in Europe, there's already readily deployed. Like in a lot of these luxury legacy brands, like fashion houses, like LVMH, they are already have their own consortium called Aura Blockchain. And all of these items, like Prada or LV, the bags, they have a digital product passport. It is a receipt that tells you this is authenticated, it's real, it came from LV, the fashion house. So when it exchanges hands and when it's scanned, you can authenticate this item as authentic.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's being used.
Yeah, that's great. And one more thing, concept you had mentioned in your presentation is real self and the digital self. So just want to know about more about this. What is digital self and how this fashion industry makes use of digital self?
Oh, this is a big question. Okay. So as I mentioned in my seminar today, I'd like to think that everyone has a digital self. You can think of it like an avatar if you're playing games, right? But then you might be, I'm not playing games. I don't have a digital self. I don't need digital fashion, and that's okay. That's talking about the Gen Z and the Alpha. Majority of them are playing games and they have a digital self. But you can use digital self in a very practical way. When we are on social media like Facebook, when we are on things like Xiaohongshu, when we are on things like Instagram, those images of yourself you put online that you share to the world, it may not be your real self. It could be you putting the things you want to share about yourself online for other people to see. If you think of it that way, that itself is already your digital self in some ways, right? So what I talked about today is those clothing that you put on your digital self is probably just shown on social media. So if you're using a filter, even if it's a makeup filter, and it helps put you lipstick, it might be branded now, and that's a digital item on your digital self. So that's how I see it.
Okay. So it's like a fake profile, or we can
It could be a fake profile, but it's not a fake profile if it's a elevated version of yourself. People use social media for different reasons. Some people is because they're curating their best digital life. For example, my Instagram, maybe all of my inspirational travels, right? So I curate it. So in some ways, is it fake? In some ways, I pose in front of a camera, but it doesn't mean it's fake. It's just a elevated, curated version of myself.
Okay. So I think that digital self, but how the fashion industry connects, like, yeah.
Okay. So I like to think about the future of fashion. So that's actually how I got into this industry. I like to think about in a very immersive way. So during this seminar, I talked about things like immersive commerce or things like metaverse, a term that we don't use a lot. I like to think about why our shopping experience online is very flat. Why am I still scrolling down a website and it's just scrolling down, down, down? Why am I not going in, going deeper? Why am I being dictated by the website designer to tell me how I should do my product discovery? Why shouldn't I go into an immersive commerce and look up and down? More importantly, I like to think, why am I not shopping with other people with me? Shopping is a community. It can be a very fun experience. In real life, we like to shop with our friends, right? So how come in online, in an e-commerce store, or I like to think an immersive commerce store, how come I cannot see other avatars of people walking through the mall like this place together and see what other people are shopping and looking? Why is it still flat? So I think avatars is going to be the next stage on how we present and see ourselves online. And the thing about avatars is very interesting. There could be many different digital identities and avatars for different usages. If I'm shopping, for practical reasons that I actually want to wear the clothes, ideally I'd like to see a hyper version of myself, like even weight in the immersive space to look at clothes and to try on digital fashion, right? But another thing you can look at it is about inclusivity. I can be anything I want. It's about being inclusive. So if I want to show up in a shopping mall like a dinosaur, like a butterfly, I should be able to. But because it might be on the blockchain, it may know my personal sizes because of AI sizing or something. It knows my size. How I'm represented in this immersive space could be a dinosaur. But when I click on a shirt inside this shopping mall, it will know exactly what size I am. So effectively, it will still know that I'm a size small and I'm not buying clothes for a dinosaur. That's how I see the future of shopping should be evolving.
Okay. So maybe the digital self have a different size and the physical have a different size.
But assuming you're buying clothes that is going to ship to you in real life that you want to wear in real life, it will be your real size. But you can buy and dress whatever you like and how you want to express yourself in these virtual platforms. Like you said, a fake profile, it could very well happen like that as well.
Yeah. Nowadays, a lot of AI, you see, ChatGPT, they are making your profile more enhanced and all.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So I think that is a free platform, or that is the similar will be you are talking about.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So, so what is your take on the fashion industry, and how the future generation and the new entrepreneurs should look at this industry in terms of AI and a lot of because new brands comes, they fail and they again do some kind of experiment. So what they should do, as a branding, as a AI, everything. Yes.
I mean, overall, I feel like fashion needs a good shake-up. Like fashion and the retail and every aspect of fashion has pretty much hasn't really evolved over time. We all know that fashion waste is a huge problem. We all know that a lot of our lifestyle, like social media, kind of portray excess consumption. So we're buying more and disposing more, and it is a worldwide problem, right? So I feel like fashion, we should really put a new lens to it, right? So this is why I decided to put all my time into this one space of fashion, metaverse, and personalization, because I think that is time that we can look at it in a different lens on how we experience, how we shop, how we engage. That's from a customer's point of view. But I also think a lot of these AI tools, a lot of these things really become creators' new superpowers. They are able to launch things a lot faster ahead of time, maybe spending less money. So for example, you just mentioned that some fashion brands come and they don't last, right? Why? Maybe the cost of production is very high. Maybe they couldn't find buyers because it's really expensive to be in a trade show because they're just an independent new designer. Now imagine you have access to tools with things like AI. You can create something that you can test the market, that you can launch on social media and have your fans and community buy the digital fashion already. Maybe try it on as a filter on Snapchat or on Instagram and share it to make some noise, to raise money by selling this, to test the market if people even want to buy it before you actually spend money to produce it. So a lot of these tools can open new revenue streams for designers that might have just stuck to the traditional route. How we do business is changing. And part of this is because the technology and all of that stuff is falling into place. So that's why I think all aspects of fashion and retail and the entire chain can look at using AI, digital fashion, metaverse, immersive commerce to enhance whichever aspect that they're doing across the entire process.
Yeah. As you said, it's good for the market testing also,
Yes.
and research and development also.
You can sell 100. Like one of my example today was a store sold a beanie, like a digital hat, for 70 cents. And they didn't expect it to sell 1 million units. That actually gave them a lot of validation that maybe we can actually make this item in real life and sell the actual item. So they tested digitally first, had good revenue that counts before they actually decide to make the physical item. That's changing the entire product life cycle.
But how they sell the digital, I still not able to understand that part.
It has to be on certain platforms. So things like in some of the gaming world, they have their marketplaces to sell, trade, create, buy in these marketplaces. So those are what I call unreal life digital fashion. It's only staying in that gaming world. It's existed for a very long time. It's just that now it's become fashion items. Before, maybe it's just suits and robots or swords, dragons. It could be something like that. But now we know that those avatars, those playing in the games, what they wear is a lot more important than, say, in real life. Maybe it's branded items. And because of the sheer amount of people on these gaming platforms, brands are looking in because they want to shape and capture the attention of the next generation of buyers in real life. So if I am a 12-year-old playing a game and I see a t-shirt that has like a logo on it and I'm buying it or trading it, one day when I see the physical store, it makes a connection. Like, oh, I know what that brand is because I've seen it in the store before. It's just a new marketing channel, you could call it as well. It's just eyeballs in the space.
Okay, that's great. That's great connecting with you. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you
you.
so much.